Hey guys, ShockerCyclone here, and I am going to be doing a review today of the latest LEGO game, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Now, I have been waiting for this game for 2 years. Basically, it was supposed to come out 2 years ago, but then a little thing called COVID happened, and they had to push it back a few times. But it finally came out, and I actually was able to play it while I was sick. And I still am kind of in the middle of playing it, but that's because there's a lot of content. So, basically, if you're not aware, the Skywalker Saga is what they call all 9 episodic Star Wars films. And basically, they did not take the original game, like the original LEGO Star Wars games, and just mush them together and then just create some new stuff. No, this is all new content. Basically, all 9 movies, you don't play through Solo or Rogue One, but they do give you the characters. As long as you have, the deluxe pack, which I do. So, each episode will take you about an hour-ish to play. And I do highly recommend starting from episode 1 and working your way back, or forward, because honestly, the story makes a lot better sense that way. However, if you're not a fan of the prequels, or you're not a fan of the sequels, and you say you just want to play the original trilogy, or just the prequels in the original trilogy, or like me, all 9, you have the option to actually start from the start of any trilogy. So if you want to go 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, you can. If you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you can. If you want to just do 7, 8, 9, you can. You can even do 7, 8, 9, 5, 4, 6, or 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3 if you want. Sorry, I got a little bit tongue-tied. So how is this different from other LEGO games? Well, for starters, they use an entirely new engine. I can't really remember what it's called, but basically everything now looks like it's made of LEGO. Well, not everything. The environment still look. Basically, how I would best describe it is if you took the animation used in the LEGO movies and you'd put Star Wars to it. That's basically what you would get. And even a lot of the humor is based on that, because they did change a lot. It's not just a shot-for-shot remake or a shot-for-shot telling. They had to alter a lot. Certain deaths have been edited because it is a kid's game, and I don't blame them. For instance, Darth Maul's death at the end of episode 1, they've made quite hilarious. There's one scene where in episode 3 where Anakin and Obi-Wan are flying their starfighters into the Grievous' ship. There's basically a retirement party or some sort of birthday party or something for a battle droid, and they literally crash it. I mean, they take everybody out with their in the crash. It's honestly quite funny, and being that I could not laugh at the time because I was sick, it was hard for me not to laugh. So, gameplay-wise, another addition they did was they actually made classes. So there's, for example, Jedi, Dark Side, Scoundrel, Hero, Villain, Scavenger, Bounty Hunter, and then Protocol Droid, Astromech Droid. I can't remember if there's any others, but then there's also the extras. Basically, every class does something different. For instance, you need a protocol droid to access certain protocol panels, and they also gave him the ability to split apart, which is interesting. So basically, you can have like 3 characters instead of 2, because they limited free play to 2 characters, which is kind of what they do standard, but with C-3PO or any other protocol droid you can split. Basically, they've also added skill trees, which is interesting, because now you can actually upgrade certain abilities. One thing I do kind of not like is the fact that they got rid of the super jump. Because now it used to be that Jedi can jump high and Gunkins can jump really high. That was like the one good point of Jar Jar in the game. I like Jar Jar Binks, but in the original game, he was useless except for the jumping. He could not fight, he could not shoot, he could not do anything. But again, I like Jar Jar, just not in the game. They of course changed that with this, which is good. Because now he can fight, and he can't jump high though, but now he can at least fight. But I guess it was the same with C-3PO in the original game. He could not fight at all. In fact, it was rather annoying. He got hit a few times. He was losing limbs. And next thing you know, you're just hobbling around on one foot. And it slowed him down a lot. So you basically had to go over to him and slap him. To basically kill him, to get him to respawn in a new body. Yeah. The game is really fun. There's a lot of exploration because outside of the episodes, there is Galaxy Free Play, which is what I'm doing now. And when I say there's a lot of content, I mean there is over 1,000 Kyber bricks to collect. Now, what a Kyber brick is basically it's the new version of the gold bricks. But you actually use Kyber bricks to upgrade. And upgrades are not cheap. Like, I think the first one for each bit is like 8. And then all other subsequent ones is like 20. And it also costs money too, like studs. But it actually does kind of make the game better because villains, like stormtroopers and that, they now have a little drone that you can activate that gives you a little bit of cover fire. Bounty hunters have the ability to see through walls and detect enemies. I haven't really experimented with other things yet. Scavenger is kind of a fun one because they have a set of tools that are needed to do certain things. I've noticed my 2 most played characters are Jango Fett and Rey. I have tried Boba Fett. I'm not too fond of the voice they used. And the Boba Fett from Mandalorian Season 2, which just came out, for some reason, none of the DLC split characters speak. Which is odd. All of the other characters speak, but not the DLC characters. Well, not all of the other characters, but most of them. One thing I should note is that they did not rip audio from the movies. This is all new dialogue recorded just for the game. They actually used the cast from the Clone Wars to do the prequel stuff, which is good, although Ahsoka doesn't appear. She appears as a DLC character, but again, not speaking, so it kind of sucks. But again, being that it's new dialogue, a lot of them say some pretty funny stuff. For instance, one thing with Anakin that I kind of liked is his idle animation. He will pull out his lightsaber, fire it up, and then it'll flicker from like blue to red, and then he'll try to get it back again. It's kind of like a foreshadow of what happens to him at the end of of episode 3. I thought that was funny. It's also like I forget who does the voice, but you can't lose with the battle droids. They're always funny. Like whether it's in the show or even in the movies, like the later movies. The first, like episode 1, they were kind of bland, but they were kind of, I think, trying to make them more droidy and not funny, which thankfully they changed in episode 2. And then perfected in episode 3. There are a few actors from the trilogies that appeared. For instance, Anthony Daniels is back as C-3PO. They got Billy D. Williams to play Lando Calrissian, which was nice, but I think all the other ones, they've been recast. And it's not bad. But like I said, they could not just rip audio for various reasons, despite the fact that Disney basically owns Star Wars and they had to help in basically creating it, like creating the game, I think. Okay, some downsides. You cannot summon vehicles. You can summon ships, but not vehicles. They're littered around, but like you cannot use a Tauntaun on Tatooine. You cannot use Luke's Landspeeder on Hoth. And yeah, that sucked. Like I would have loved to have actually used like a Bantha on, well, I guess Hoth, or maybe even see, I don't know, just some other place that you couldn't. Bespin. Let's just say Bespin. You can't do that. They basically, all the vehicles and all the animals are planet locked. So they're all over the place, but again, you can't summon them. Ships you can summon from like landing pads, and a good thing about the game is there's a lot of ships. I was kind of disappointed in the B-Wing, because the B-Wing is actually like my favorite starfighter in Star Wars, and they did this thing where basically it rotates randomly, so it kind of has a fair bit of wobble. Let's see. So there's that. Again, there's the no jumping thing, like the high jump thing. You can't even upgrade it. Boba Fett and Jango Fett do have their jetpacks, so you can kind of like get up a bit higher and hover for a little bit, but then it craps out and then fall down, and yeah. Let's see what else. As far as like the Galaxy of Preplay goes, there are a multitude of planets. Like pretty much, if it was a planet that was in a Star Wars movie, it's there. And some have multiple locations. Like Tatooine has like the Jundland Waste plus Mos Espa plus Mos Eisley. Most only have one, which is okay. But some of the missions are kind of cut and paste parameters, but, well, not really missions, but puzzles, because there's like missions and there's puzzles. Like there's one activity where basically you have to find all 4 targets and shoot them to get the brick. Unfortunately, sometimes the timing is really quick. So if you don't know where they all are, and some of them are kind of tricky, it can be hard. So they're the same, but still kind of challenging. But there is a lot of commonality to the missions, I guess you could say, or to the puzzles. Well, really not so much the puzzles, only like certain ones. But other than that, is the game good? Yeah. A lot of people, myself included, say that this is the best LEGO game ever made. And I actually have all of the ones done by Traveler Tales on my PC. Well, not on my PC, but on my Steam account. And yeah, I would go that far. I would say that it is the best game they've made yet. Before, I would actually say that it was Force Awakens, but now it's this one. Force Awakens did have did have a bit more in terms of I guess you could say, content, like whole different content, but again, this is like Skywalker Saga is a big game. They had 9 movies and every location from those movies, and they had to stretch it out a lot. They did do this one interesting thing where you can actually get capital ships. There's only 5 of them, but basically they're villain ships that you can capture. Except the Death Stars. Those ones are actually from a mission. But the missions are kind of fun. But they still cost a lot of studs. Like, the cheapest one is like 2 million. The most expensive one is like 5 million. But what it basically does is it actually unlocks another location where you can go and get bricks and occasionally a character. I haven't unlocked all 5 yet. I've unlocked 4, but not the 5th one because I'm still playing it. I've done the locations for episodes 1 through 6. I'm currently doing the locations for episode 7. So I still got like a fair bit to go. I have not done the free play stuff for the episodes. And okay. One really massive nitpick I have, and it's not so much a nitpick, is they gave you challenge objectives in the levels. I am not a fan of challenge objectives at all in any game. Because I feel like it stops you from playing the way you want to play. Like, the objective is, say, this is not in Lego Star Wars, but it is in like other games. Like, go through the tomb to get the artifact. And then you got challenge objectives. Do the tomb in 3 minutes. Do not fall down. And then I think those are actually from Assassin's Creed. I want to say Brotherhood. Don't quote me on that. But I want to say Brotherhood. Like those similar objectives. I think that's pretty much where I got it from. But then there's like the new Spider-Man game that does it. And it's like, web 20 enemies to walls. And there's like 21 enemies. It's like, dude, just let me knock them the hell out. So that is a nitpick I have. Maybe you're a fan of challenge objectives, maybe you're not. I am not, but yeah. In terms of the cheats, the red bricks are gone. Now, you're probably saying, well, I guess that means the cheats are gone, right? No. Actually, they did something different, and they actually did something which I think makes it better. Because before, certain cheats were attached to certain red bricks. And I don't want to call them cheats, I just want to call them, like, boosters, let's call them. Because cheating sounds bad. And boosters are something you can unlock in a game which gives you a boost. Like the stud boosts or something like that. Now, before they were all tied to certain bricks, certain red bricks in either levels or in the hub or something like that. So you had to get like a certain one to get a certain cheat. That's gone. What they did was they put in things called data cards. One data card will allow you to access one cheat, but they still cost money. Basically, like the multiplayer bricks, the multiplayer boosters, multiplier boosters. Like ×2 is, I think, maybe, I want to say 50,000 or 500,000 bricks or studs. I can't really remember. Don't quote me on that. But I do remember, like, the last one, the ×10, was, like, I think 380 million? Around that. Like, you were paying 9 figures for that. If you, like, they do stack, but basically, like, it still takes time to get that far. But mind you, it didn't take me that long, because once I actually had 1 through 8, or 2 through 8 active, basically I was making studs like crazy. You unlock characters and vehicles by doing certain missions, or sometimes, yeah, basically just missions, Occasionally, you might find a vehicle in like a puzzle, which is sometimes nice. But again, like once you unlock like the ability to buy them, you're basically unlocking the ability to buy them. Mind you, once you have a few of the multiplayer boosters active, basically it doesn't take that long. Like I think right now I'm sitting at well over 1 billion studs in my game. The game itself, I think I got it for about, I want to say $70 on Steam. I think it's about 70 to 80 depending on the version you get. Is it worth it? Yeah. It's plenty fun. It's plenty funny. Basically, you could sit around and play it all day if you wanted to. And I kind of did a couple days because basically, again, I was sick and really couldn't do anything else. I couldn't even play Mass Effect. So that is basically my review of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. It might be a little bit jumbled. I don't have a habit of actually preparing videos, in case you're wondering why this is kind of sloppy. I just kind of, I do like it better this way, but I can kind of see how being prepared makes for a better video. But hopefully this makes for a better video in terms of it being kind of funny. I'm hoping it's funny. I kind of got funny looking teeth now. Yeah. I do tend to get these fixed, but... So that is my review of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. It's clocking in at a little, almost 22 minutes. So it's a little bit long, I know. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. So if you want, pick it up. You'll enjoy it. And trust me, I've played every single LEGO game. It's awesome. Bye, guys.